All right, Jewel and Tess, very pleasant good afternoon to you both, and we'll open the floor for questions. Thomas?
Thanks for the time. Thomas Costello with Land Grant Holy Land. You both have played Ohio State last year. Tess, you played a couple years ago also. Was it now getting the chance to come back to Columbus and face them, especially after last year, and having them kind of handily beat your side on your home court?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. We know they're a great team coming into this matchup, so we're just going to focus on what we can control this year opposed to last year. And knowing, their system is a lot of pressure, but we like to press a lot as well. So seeing those two dynamics and going out there, having fun and competing.
And how much has Coach kind of leveraged the two of you, because you played against Ohio State last year and you played against this press, a different style of press from your press with a lot of similarities. How much has she leveraged your experience in preparing for tomorrow's game?
I don't think we've really talked about it much, just knowing that our style of play and compared to theirs, it's going to be a very fast-paced, very aggressive, and just coming in and knowing what we do.
Steve Hellwagon with Bucknuts.com here in Columbus. It feels like Coach, with her winning pedigree, is coming in to try and put Tennessee back, we'll say it, where Coach Summit had it a number of years ago. What does that feel like for you guys as players, that are still with the program and everything, the idea that Tennessee is on that kind of an upswing and you want to put it back where it was, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's special. That's what we talked about when Coach Kim came in this summer for the first time. That's what we talked about, our team goals, our individual goals, but also talking about we didn't want this year to be a year where we just rebuild. We want to win now. And I think y'all have seen that now with us, competing for a spot and a chance to be in the Sweet 16. So I think it just speaks to her and her culture, but also us, the people that came back and the transfers that came in, us having a common goal.
Maybe your thought about it as well.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes whenever, just like me and Jules deciding we wanted to stay, and you have a coach that's coming in and she wants to win now. So being a part of that and, just leaving the program better than we found it is something that I think we've both talked about and we can kind of hang our hats on.
If I can ask, the substitution pattern that she uses, 5 in, 5 out, pretty consistent every couple of minutes or thereabouts. First time that I've seen it, in action in person was last night. Just as players who played in a different system, and for her to come in and institute that, how effective has it been, do you feel, and what are the pluses of doing it this way, that you always have 5 fresh people on the court and everybody knows their role? Just what has this been like for you guys?
I love it. I think it's really fun last night whenever you have 5 in, 5 out, and you're coming in and we're feeding energy and just playing off each other. But it's honestly better whenever you see the other team getting so tired and they have no more bodies and subs left. That's whenever I think we really get more energy, and it's like, okay, let's go, keep going.
Maybe your thought about it as well?
Yeah, I'd say it's actually very fun. Like Tess just said, feeding off each other, 5 in, 5 out, and having energy on the bench energy, providing energy for the people that are on the court and vice versa. So I think it's really important, and I think that it just shows the depth that we have on our team, that we have multiple people that can score, that can shoot threes, that can make plays, and it just makes us harder to guard.
And yesterday against USF, you all looked very well rested after the couple weeks off, after a really kind of tough spell to end the regular season. How much did that tough spell kind of bring your team closer together and to have such a dominant performance yesterday?
I think it forced us to get on the same page. When you go through adversity, you have to get closer. You can't go further apart because then it makes things harder. So I think that it kind of forced us to get closer, and I think we did get closer during that time. We got rested, and we got this new spirit of energy. And with having a lot of seniors on our team, we know this is our last go-around. So just giving all we have, and our teammates doing the same as well.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. Thomas, you have another question?
Yeah, I did want just one more
Please.
final thing. I don't know how much you've all gone into watching video and stuff yet with the game so late tomorrow, but what are the differences that you see, and you played against it too, between your press and Ohio State's press?
I would say obviously theirs is a 2-2-1 and ours is just run and jump at all costs. So that different style, but I don't know, we see presses literally all day, every day because we're practicing against each other.
Yeah, exactly what Tess said. We press each other in practice, so just kind of getting that familiarity with that. But Ohio State has a, a unique press that we're going to be prepared for. I think it's going to be a really fast-paced game. That's what we expect with both teams pressing each other.
All right, we're going to jump on to the World Wide Web in our Zoom broadcast. Maria, do you have a question?
Yes, this is Maria Cornelius, 247 Sports, Tennessee. Jill, this sounds like an obvious question, but you mentioned last night that the team followed the scouting report. And I know Coach Kim has talked about, like at Florida, at halftime, she said we basically had to go over the entire scouting report again. You both are fifth-year seniors. I don't think the issue is seniors not following the scouting report, but how do you get the team to buy in to a scouting report? Because you're right, it makes a huge difference when everybody, the five on the floor, are on the same page.
Yeah, it's huge. With USF last night, we knew they had a lot of plays. They ran a lot of sets, and we knew that they might have put in new sets. So when you communicate and you know how to guard actions, it makes things a lot easier. So I think that just speaks to us in practices. Like when you have a short turnaround for us preparing for Ohio State, you have to pay attention to the little details that you don't think makes a difference, but it really does. So just making sure the younger players know that, or the people that this is their first NCAA tournament, making sure that they hone in on that, and when we get to the game, that we make sure that it translates.
Maria, do you have another question?
Yes, if Tess can weigh in on that too as a senior. And Tess, I also want to, Kim was talking last night about how competitive Edie Darby is on the floor, that she will do anything to win in practice. Growing up, who was the most competitive sister, and did it sometimes get, kind of spicy between the two of you?
Yeah, so definitely answering your first question, scouting report is huge. I think that's just an extra few points every now and then that we can get, just knowing personnel and what teams do. But being confident in what we do, knowing we've practiced it, and when you're confident, I think it translates to the floor. Edie is a very, very competitive player and person. She always wants to win. And yes, things did get spicy a few times, just in the yard, in the driveway playing. We had to call quits to a couple of games, but I think that's a good trait to have.
All right, any more questions from local here? None? Okay. Ladies, you can head back to the locker room, have a good practice and a pleasant evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.